Every nation in every region now has a decision to make. Either you are with us or you are with the terrorists. Either you're with us, either you love freedom and with nations which embrace freedom, or you're with the enemy. There's no in between. You're either with us or you're with the enemy. That's clear. I will continue to make that clear. It's the third time I've said that. I'll probably say it 3 more times. See, in my line of work, you got to keep repeating things over and over and over again for the truth to sink in, to kind of catapult the propaganda.
The president entering now the Cincinnati Museum Center, 500 or so invited guests there. The President of the United States.
Thank you all. Terrorism, terror, organization, terrorist attacks, terrorism, terrorist network, terrorist attacks, terrorist group, terrorists, terrorists, instruments of terror, a terror network, terror cells, terrorists, terrorizing terror and murder, terrorism, terrorists, tool of terror and torture.
Tonight in Seattle, a healthcare system under strain.
We are certainly seeing COVID-19. Lots of patients are coming in.
As the coronavirus cases spike, hospitals struggling around the country are sounding the alarm.
It's a new world for everybody, including people who work on the front lines.
People with minimal to no symptoms concerned they have COVID-19, flooding the system. Flooding the system. Flooding the system. Flooding the system.
Offices, from the president to the head of health and hospitals, saying things like, we're going to be fine, everything's fine. And from our perspective, everything is not fine. I don't have the support that I need, and even just the materials that I need physically to take care of my patients. And it's America, and we're supposed to be a first world country. On a regular day, my emergency department's volume is pretty high. It's about 200 people a day. Now we're seeing 400 or more people a day. At first, we were trying to isolate patients with cough and fever and be more careful around them, but we weren't necessarily being extra careful around all the other patients. And then we started to realize that patients who were coming in with no fever but abdominal pain actually had findings on their x-rays and chest CTs that were consistent with this coronavirus, COVID-19.
Hey folks, I'm back outside Elmhurst Hospital. Some trolls in my last video said I didn't go inside, so I'm gonna go inside right now and see what's going on in there. Hopefully they won't try to stop me from filming. But somebody said there would be hordes of people inside, that's why I didn't go in. Let's see. There's the doctor with his mask on and everything. And look at that. Nobody. Completely empty. There's just police, no EMS, nothing. Nothing, absolutely. Ghosts. That's all they got you afraid of, ghosts. Hello? What? Oh, no problem.
At Elmhurst Hospital, lines of people outside wait to get tested. A refrigerated truck has now been brought in here, a makeshift morgue. In just one day, 13 people died from coronavirus here.
We sent over 40 additional ventilators that have arrived at Elmhurst. We also sent today to Elmhurst Hospital 56 additional staff members to deal with the challenges that they're facing.
They all have COVID.
This video video by the New York Times taken by an emergency care physician there shows how stretched they are.
I want people to know that this is bad. People are dying. We don't have the tools that we need.
City ambulances have seen a surge in calls, responding to nearly 5,800 Thursday.
From the perspective of being properly prepared, the training is there, the equipment is not.
Over at the Javits Center, where 4 temporary hospitals will be set up, cots are assembled, an alternate site to ease the bed shortage at New York hospitals. Mayor de Blasio keeps calling on the federal government to do more to provide desperately needed supplies, like ventilators, as the seemingly never-ending loop for doctors on the front lines continues.
People come in, they get intubated, they die, the cycle repeats.
And back here live, another look at the line forming in just the last 45 minutes ago. People wearing masks waiting to be tested here at Elmhurst Hospital. And officials say this, unfortunately, is just the beginning, with the crisis expected to last for months and the peak of it all still on the horizon. We're live in Elmhurst, Queens this morning. Rena Roy, CBS 2 News.
Rena,
Hello folks, I'm standing outside of the Elmhurst Hospital Center in Queens, New York, and according to the media, this is the epicenter of the apocalypse. But it sure looks like a ghost town to me. Where's the ambulances? Where's the rushing patients? We heard 13 people. Where's the long lines? We saw, if you look on the YouTube, the CBS News, long lines of people trying to get tested. I don't see that. Now here's those tents they had set up. This is what you saw on the news. Where's the lines on the tents? Nobody's here on the tents. You know, for all the people who say, oh, I know somebody who got it, yeah, maybe some old people, but this is planned out for an agenda. Research Event 201.
I would take it. I just wanted to say one thing also about what Tony had mentioned. So I grew up in Queens, New York, and right next to a place called Elmhurst, Queens. And they have a hospital that's a very good hospital, Elmhurst Hospital, right? I've known it. I've known where it is. I can tell you the color on the outside, the size of the windows. I mean, I know it very well, right? I was near my community where I lived. And I've been watching that for the last week on television. Body bags all over in hallways. I've been watching them bring in trailer trucks, freezer trucks. They're freezer trucks because they can't handle the bodies. There's so many of them. This is essentially in my community in Queens, New York. I've seen things that I've never seen before. I mean, I've seen them, but I've seen them on television in faraway lands. I've never seen them in our country. Elmhurst Hospital, unbelievable people. I mean, when I see the trucks pull up to take out bodies, and these are trucks that are as long as the Rose Garden, and they're pulling up to take out bodies, and you look inside and you see the black body bags. You say, what's in there? It's Elmhurst Hospital. Must be supplies. It's not supplies, it's people. I've never seen anything like it. So these people are doing a fantastic job.
All the patients in this room, all the feet that you see, they all have COVID. And this is only one of the several rooms. The concern is all these ventilators that we're told are coming but haven't really started to materialize. Are they really coming? Will we really get them? I have never seen the increase in volume as fast as it has. All the patients in this room, all the feet that you see, they all have COVID. The frustrating thing about all of this is it really just feels like it's too little too late. Like
there. Where's the rush of people? Look at this, parked ambulances. See if I can talk to this ambulance guy. Hey man, where's the rush of people? I thought it's an outbreak. I thought this is an outbreak, man. Where's thousands of people dying? I don't see it. It's like a ghost town here. You don't care about the world? Nobody's here. All parked ambulances, no patients, nobody's rushing anywhere. Look at all these parked ambulances just for show, for the news cameras. None of them are in action.
Family members of patients are not permitted inside Elmhurst Hospital in the Queens neighborhood of New York City because the hospital is now overwhelmed with coronavirus patients and is shifting to dedicating its 545 beds entirely to coronavirus patients. The New York Times is reporting tonight that Dr. Ashley Bray describes the situation at Elmhurst Hospital as apocalyptic. The Times reports that on Tuesday, Dr. Ashley Bray performed chest compressions at Elmhurst Hospital Center on a woman in her 80s, a man in his 60s, and a 38-year-old who reminded the doctor of her fiance. All had tested positive for the coronavirus and had gone into cardiac arrest. All eventually died.
Hi, everybody. It's me. I just wanted to say right now I got off from work and I wanted to go to Elmhurst Hospital. So this here is Elmhurst Hospital, and I just want to show you around Elmhurst Hospital right now. I'm going to turn the camera around so you can see it. I don't have much battery, but here's Elmhurst Hospital right here. Elmhurst Hospital. For you to see. The battery may not last long, so just kind of see it for as much as you can. This is what we have here. It's Elmhurst Hospital. And this is 82nd Street and then Elmhurst, New York. This is what I say the biggest area is. You have like information there. Elmhurst, New York. This is what it is. The biggest area is. You have like information there.
When Dr. Bray tried to get in touch with the family of the 38-year-old who died, she discovered that the man's mother was a coronavirus patient at another hospital. We weren't able to get in touch with anybody, Dr. Bray said. Such are the ways of life and death in New York City tonight. More than 2,800 coronavirus patients have been hospitalized in the city of New York. The hospitals are expecting that number.
Don't have the virus. Existing hospitals in Queens are packed. Elmhurst Hospital being the epicenter within the epicenter. Lines to the ER stretch out the door.
I've been here for an hour. Not one person has walked up to the tents. Not one. Okay? So, and look at all the ambulances down the block. You see any ambulances?
Somebody else take a video.
Look at, more people are taking videos. Because no one's believing the fake fucking media. You see all the ambulances that are on the block down there? They're all parked. They've been there for an hour. You mean to tell me no one's calling people? Give me a fucking break. Come down for yourselves to see, people. Yes, it is Elmhurst Hospital. Here you go. You see the sign that says Elmhurst, Paul? I ain't fucking lying. Where are all the people? Where are they? Where are they? I'm bullshitting. I've been here for an hour. Not one person has walked up to the tents.
So if someone in a car accident gets brought in, and we get a CT scan of them, and their lungs look like they have coronavirus. We were seeing a lot of patients who probably had COVID, but we didn't realize. 10 residents and also many of our nurses and a few of the attending physicians got sick. The anxiety of this situation is really overwhelming. You know, all of the doctors, it's hard for us to get tested even if we want to, even if we have symptoms. We're exposed over and over again. We don't have the protective equipment that we should have. I put on one N95 mask in the morning. I need to have that N95 mask on for every patient I see. I don't take it off all day. The N95 mask I wore today is also the N95 mask I wore on Friday. We're always worried that we'll be out of N95 masks. What's a little bit scary now is the patients that we're getting are much sicker. Many of the young people who are getting sick don't smoke. They're healthy. They have no comorbidities. They're just young, regular people between the ages of 30 and 50 who you would not expect to get this sick. So many people are saying it's going to be okay, everything's fine, we have what we need. And if this goes on for a month or 2 or 3 or 5 like it did in China, and we're already this strained, we don't have what we need. I don't really care if I get in trouble for speaking to the media. I want people to know that this is bad. People are dying. We don't have the tools that we need in the emergency department and in the hospital to take care of them. And it's really hard.
We'll just show you this. This is Elmhurst, of course. You've seen this before. And when the corporate media film, there's usually a bunch of people out. But when other people film, there never seems to be anybody there. So you've got the theatrics of an ambulance coming by, and what you're going to see here, right there, to me this appears to be a doll here. If you look at the hand, it's very white and pale, and it's the way it's flopping around kind of thing. And so I'll just show you that again. This isn't the slam dunk here. This is more, you can't really see much else with this character, mostly just the hand itself. Alright, now I'm going to show you the slam dunk. I'm going to prove to you 110% that they are staging things here. Okay. So again, this is from the same video. Now watch this. They're actually using a doll here. Here you go. That's a doll. That's clearly a doll. If you can't see that this is a doll, there's nothing I can do for you. You can see the hole in the throat here. You can see the arm joint here. You can see the hair, the fake eyebrow sort of thing, right? It's a doll. In fact, I took a photo here of it just to show you a bit of clearer sort of picture of it. I don't think there's anybody out there who can argue with a straight face that this is a real human being that they're showing in this. So, YouTube community, they're showing dolls, and they're showing these New York hospitals, Brooklyn and whatnot, and here we got a clear instance of a doll. So the first one, as I said, you can debate that. You cannot debate this. There's nobody on the planet that can debate this with a straight face and tell me this is actually a human being. So I'll play it here, and then I'm going to play the context of it. You see the rush here. And again, this is, of course, it's all, as you see, the title here, New York coronavirus cases surge, hospitals struggle to cope. So why would the hospitals use a doll Or why would the media resort to using a doll? There's no way that they should ever do this type of stuff, because anybody with a modicum of intelligence is going to come in and say, this is staged. And it's staged. This part is staged. There's no doubt about it. Doesn't mean everything is staged, but this is undoubtedly staged. Okay, so I'm going to play this back now. I'm going to play this segment for you. I'm going to play you at real time here. So I'm going to fix the time so that it's normal. I'm going to put up the volume. I'm going to show you how it's done with the people, the sheeple who watch this at home, because, you know, you're not, unless you're really paying attention, this stuff will fly by really quickly, and you'll see how they do it. So let's listen and watch.
They've taken over the pediatric unit, and this is the tiny window that family can look through to see their loved ones alone and in intensive care. Only some of them don't get to leave alive, wheeled away like so many others. The New York governor today begged President Trump to send help now, saying he'd been forced to buy ventilators from China because it was like bidding on eBay to secure enough in his own country. Overwhelmed hospital workers, he says, deserve more.
This is ongoing.
The New York governor today begged President Trump to send help now, saying he'd been forced to buy ventilators from China because it was like bidding on eBay to secure enough in his own.
So there you go. Nobody can deny this. This is 110% proof that they are using staging, and we've shown this over and over again with this whole event that they're doing. And you could say maybe they're getting sloppy or whatever, right? But people need to know the truth about what's going on. And if they're telling you that all these people are dying, and the nurses and doctors are dying, and they're sacrificing their lives, and we don't have enough equipment, and the governor needs to do this and that, and everybody needs to be in lockdown, and we got to shut down the entire economy, put millions of people out of jobs, and destroy the dollar, and get everyone microchipped and vaccinated and everything else, then why are they using dolls in their videos? Why? Anybody who's going to come in here and try to argue otherwise is not being honest. That's all. I'm being 100% honest here because I am showing you exactly the theatrics that the media use all the time. So I encourage you all to question this. If you can, share this video. Please share this video. Get it out there. Put it on Facebook. I mean, they might take it down right away. They might just say, oh, you're not allowed to show the fakery that we're doing.
U.S. President George Herbert Walker Bush pushes for a land war against Iraq. But polls show the U.S. public is split 50-50 on that idea. Then comes this eyewitness testimony before a congressional committee from a 15-year-old Kuwaiti girl. The claim is she cannot be identified for fear of reprisals.
While I was there, I saw the Iraqi soldiers come into the hospital with guns. They took the babies out of the incubators. Took the incubators and left the children to die on the cold floor.
The U.S. public is outraged. The result? Support for land war zooms. It's a turning point. Desert Storm is launched. 135,000 Iraqis are killed. An estimated 1 million Iraqis, many of them children and old people, then die as a result of 10 years of sanctions. One small problem. There never were any incubator baby deaths, not one. The Canadian Broadcasting Corporation's investigative flagship program, The Fifth Estate, reveals the girl to be the Kuwaiti ambassador's daughter, given her lines and coached in acting by the giant American PR firm Hill & Knowlton. It's one phase in a $10 million joint U.S.-Kuwaiti campaign of deception. This man is lying.
I myself buried 14 newborn babies that had been taken from their incubators.
This man is lying.
And they had kids in incubators, and they were thrown out of the incubators so that Kuwait could be systematically dismantled.
There were a lot of people who participated in a conspiracy. Yes, an out-and-out conspiracy of fake organizations, false documents, fraud, and disinformation.
And ABC News busted for staging a fake crime scene, including convincing yellow police tape seen here behind their reporter. Here's what it actually looked like, a behind-the-scenes photo showing television equipment holding up the tape for the entirely ersatz staged shot. Ah, take that, Abby.
Yeah, like that. Thank you, Tucker.
This video, obtained by ABC News, appears to show the fury of the Turkish attack on the border town of Tel Aviv.
A border town bombarded by Turkey's military. This video right here appearing to show Turkey's military bombing Kurd civilians in a Syrian border town. The Kurds who fought alongside the U.S. against ISIS. Now, horrific reports of atrocities committed by Turkish-backed fighters on those very allies.